Today's adventure begins from my hotel room here at Universal Hilton as the recording of this Sunday, September 29th, 2024. A couple more days here in SoCal, but I'm checking out of these accommodations. And this is a different view than I usually have. I got the mountain Hollywood Hills side as opposed to the theme park view side, other side of the hotel. Heading down to Orange County for a day or two, and then going home in a couple days. There's a Sheraton, there's the Comcast building, there's a helicopter flying by up there, there's the freeway. Heading out. A couple more days in SoCal. This room side also has a pretty good view of the pool and the hot tub and all the accommodations down there. Didn't utilize the pool or hot tub this stay, but I have in the past. It's kind of neat when you're in the hot tub. They really disguise the fact that the freeway is right there. Just waiting on the elevator. There it is. Going down. I was on the 10th floor. Hollywood Hills Valley side. Also, you notice there is no 13th floor at this hotel. Some of them do, but I think most hotels skip 13th floor. See? 12 to 14. Welcome, everyone. Adam the Woo here. Cheers. From this little section of the parking structure overlooking the valley. Just showed from up there. Well, I guess that valley would be that way. That's a hill. That's the Hollywood Hills. Showed it from the up top of the room. Gonna get in my rental car, head southbound towards Anaheim, where I'll be staying the next couple nights. Then I'm flying home, and I'm gonna be home for all of October. My SoCal haunt season has come to an end. Probably gonna do some Halloween haunt stuff in Florida when I get back there. I'm supposed to fly out really early, like 5 a.m. in the morning from John Wayne. I have since changed that flight, and I am not leaving tomorrow. I'm gonna leave the following day, a little later in the day, because I feel like I've been going pretty hard, need a day to just kind of hang around on Harbor down in Anaheim, so that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Today, I'm going to go pop into City Walk. I was going to purchase the Slash LP, who does the soundtrack, Slash from Guns N' Roses, at HHN. I did not purchase it the other night, so I'm going to grab that, put it in my bag, and then possibly head Hollywood Boulevard, Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Going to go see where Paul Rubens has been laid to rest, and then head southward. I'm inviting you to join me. It's good to have you here. Shall you? That's good. There's a Starbucks in here as well. Early in the morning, around 8, 9 a.m., the line is so incredibly long, but because I waited till 11 a.m. to check out, there was no one in line, so cheers to that. We'll get going. Certainly had a whirlwind last few months. Bouncing around the U.S., finishing up the 30 stadiums, baseball stadiums. November, I'll be knocking off my 50th state. Done all the MLB stadiums, seeing the Rays, who got eliminated from the postseason. They're not in the postseason. In fact, today, I think in an hour from now is first pitch for their last game. They play the Red Sox up at Fenway. So knocked off 30 stadiums, rooting for the Rays. Hopefully next year they can regroup and do a little bit better. So October, in a couple days I'll be home. I've pretty much been gone from home, all with the exception of 4 or 5 days, for about the last almost 3 months by the time I return. And I've said this before, but I'm going to reiterate just to give my own mind a little peacefulness. I am going to be home around Central Florida, that is, all of October. I made some good memories. Going across the country the last few months, SoCal the last few months, D23, haunt season, half marathon. There's so much I'm missing. I'm gonna get that vinyl souvenir, because I'm gonna get a record player, I think, in October. So I've been buying vinyl, and I thought it'd be kind of neat to pop on a little Slash and get it and relive some memories while hanging out at home. Also, with international traveling, again, next month I'll be home for October. I'll do some Halloween stuff as well. But I do not know if in future years I'm going to be going as hard on the Halloween content and me going to Halloween events. I really want to do international starting next year. So I think for the next couple of years I might take a slight step back from doing a lot of really intense gotta go to all the Halloween events. It's probably gonna It's probably going to taper off a little bit next year. Just letting you know, Minion. At least the same ones I've been doing. Next year's all going to be about new experiences, new places, new destinations, overseas things. And maybe if I'm overseas in October, maybe there's some overseas haunts. That's a possibility. But as far as doing the ones I normally have on my routine, I want to break up my routine a little bit. And next year, don't want to have as much of the theme park type of stuff as it is more travel type of stuff. There'll be some theme park stuff in there and some things like that will definitely be peppered in, but I really want to make it more about just going overseas and seeing places I've never been, and more of travel style. And I did not have to go into the park. I could have gone into the park because I do have the annual pass, but they do have a lot of the HHN merch right over in here, next to Voodoo Donuts and all that. So that's where I ended up getting a hat, got the hat and the vinyl. Tram's heading off to go down the hill. That's not the in-park tram. That's the one that goes down the hill past the Hilton and Sheraton and all that. I also got purchased another, I want to say impulse buy, but I purchased something for Bubba Gumps. A couple things for Bubba Gumps. Got to get my souvenir game on point before heading home. The next time I'll be back up in Hollywood will be early December. First, I don't know, kind of the first week of December. And then doing a big family trip where we're all gonna meet here. So I'll be back here early December. And then we're all going to Aulani, Oahu, Hawaii. Looking forward to that. But again, next year, 2025, all international. Well, mostly international. One last quick little walkthrough through the BTTF. I don't know what that is on the... Just wild to me to think that Zemeckis and the crew are right there filming down that way and up the other way. Anyway, I've showed this a bunch of times, but sometimes I walk this way to go down to level P2, where I always park my car when I stay here. Never get tired of seeing this, truthfully. From one parking structure to another, from Universal City to Hollywood Boulevard. I wanted to show the stuff I ended up purchasing. Check out this Bubba Gump Shrimp Company shirt. Date stamp with Hollywood, or Halloween 2024. Run, Forrest, run. Through the swamp there. I also picked up this, which has my name on it. Life is like a box of chocolates. I also picked up this hat here, which is a snapback, and I got the Slash album. I'm gonna walk over and see Batman's new star. Batman got a star about a week ago. I wasn't there to see it, but I'm gonna see it today. I've just kind of learned to park over here off of Orange and Hollywood Boulevard underneath the Highland Center, Hollywood and Highland area. Street parking is findable in Hollywood, but I think for like 20 bucks, you could just park here. Up and down the series of escalators, going from the basement, if you will, up the top, and then, oh, welcome to Hollywood. A little look at Hollywood Boulevard at this particular moment. Hollywood Highland Center. I'm gonna walk over about a block from here, where I believe Batman, DC superhero Batman, got a star. Now, I was able to go to Tim Burton's star ceremony, but I was not able to attend Batman. I did go to a Batman event, though. I went to Warner Brothers for the 1989 Batman screening, which was freaking awesome. Right underneath the Golden Arches, and underneath where, I think it was Ripley's Believe It or Not, used to be, so it's been closed for a while for whatever reason. Underneath this marquee, this old theater that used to be a little roadside attraction here, across from all the little buses, across from the Hollywood Wax Museum, across from the now closed, being completely gutted and remodeled Snow White Cafe, corner of Hollywood and Highland, is the new Batman star, which I believe, yep, right here. You see it's a little cleaner than a lot of the other ones. Right there. Look at that. What are you? Hi, Batman. He got his own star. Right next to Judy Garland and Arnie. That's right. Come on, Batman. Come on. Stick a knife in me. Look into my eyes. See what's going on in there. My Arnold's a little off. Haven't done Arnold in a while. Guy's carrying a sign. Jesus loves you sign over there. Kind of hard to see from this distance, but hello there, Godzilla. And a Zoltar machine. The one in big, I believe, was Zoltan. This is a Zoltar machine. So you put a couple of dollars in it. You are not risking a younger self appearing, which should probably be good. You can kind of go back in time. But it's kind of, that movie was, I love that movie, but it's kind of a weird scenario. You're like a grown man, but you're really a youth. I just watched it the other day. It was on TV in my hotel room, and I was watching a little bit of it. It's a great movie. Back to the Future Church. The next time I will be seeing this facade will be a recreation of the Hollywood Chinese Theater, which will be at Disney's Hollywood Studios. That'll be the next time I look at this exact facade that's recreated. In Florida, though, this is on the other side of the front entrance. So yeah, looking forward to getting home. At the moment, they have the Joker banner up there, which premieres in like a little less than a week. And they got Roy Rogers right down here. Also, his horse's shoes are down there. He's got the whole array of different. Oh, Jimmy Durante right here as well. You got Jimmy Durante, some Star Trek, a lot of the original series Star Trek. Also, I never realized Donald Duck is right here, one of the first ones, right next to Billy Crystal, Bruce Willis, right over there. And then you got Donald, which is right next to Mel Gibson. You got Mel Gibson, and you got Donald Duck, signed back in 1984, right there. And then Stallone, right over here. Yeah, I was kind of like walking around looking at these. I always notice a couple that I don't see each and every time. I just like, whenever you walk around, you start to notice more names in front of the historic Chinese theater. Classic. Got Warren Beatty right there. Whoopi Goldberg. Sam Elliott. Dare I say, owner of the best mustache ever. Hard to beat that. Zemeckis. Meryl. Travolta. Steven Seagal. John Wayne. Look at that. The Duke himself. I'm flying out of John Wayne Airport, so it's kind of neat that I'm showing that. They still haven't fixed the musical notes when you walk up those stairs. Circa 2017-18, there were musical notes that would play when you would walk up the piano organ staircase here. You could even see the little sensors over there, but the sensors no longer are working. Sad trombone. Not bad. It was only a $4 charge because I wasn't in here too long. I thought it was a standard $20 for the whole time you're in here, but I guess if you're only in there a short time, it's by the hour. Exiting out here on Highland. All right, made the short commute from where I just was over to Hollywood Forever. I've been here in a couple of years. A lot of celebrities. Final resting place are here. A little security guard when you come in. You just ask wherever you'd like to see, and they're very helpful here. So I'd like to see Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman. Told me he's over here by the lake. So I'm just gonna walk around till I find it. I love the Ramones. You got Dee Dee here. Real name Douglas Glenn Cloven. Got Bianca over here. Cherub Angel with a guitar with a sound mixer on it. Now, this property does an interesting thing every so often, pretty often. They do movies, where they set up a movie screen out here. I've never been to any of them, but I know they do that, so people just take over the entire property, just sitting amongst the headstones, watching movies. Very beautiful property. Right on the backside of Paramount Studios. I like people picnic out here. There's a group of people eating right there. Never noticed this word. It says P-U-R something right next to the lake. There's also a pyramid. film director, Romanian film director here. Got the little movie projector. Here's Johnny Ramone. A lot of very notable names and famous people here. I believe that this rock is Tony Scott, director of True Romance. Love that movie, and Top Gun. Check that out in a second. But Hattie McDaniel, Academy Award-winning actress from Gone with the Wind. She's also in Song of the South. Renowned performer. See if my memory serves correct. Yes, Tony Scott. Who is right next to Soundgarden lead singer, musician Chris Cornell. And I recall back in 2017, when he was placed here, I remember showing this soon after. Time just marches on. It was over 7 years ago. Also a good view of the iconic sign over there. Barely see it through those trees. There's the Hollywood sign. And also next to Tony's is Helena Hutchins. Very, very sad story with this. I believe a decision has not been decided on the, I don't want to say motive, but just the conclusion of why, or any of that has not been decided by court system yet. But just so sad. And even that was over 3 years ago. A lot of instances really put things in perspective on how quickly something could happen unplanned. Like Helena, but also this gentleman, Anton Yelchin. Very young, very promising career. Tragic. A lot of people out here having picnics. This is just such a great spot. Used in a lot of movies as well. In fact, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe Anton made a movie where he was out here at night in the scene around this very premises. It's very interesting that now he is here where that scene, I can't remember the name of the movie, but I just recently saw Maxine a couple times. Really like Maxine, filmed at Warner Brothers backlot, Universal Studios backlot, Hollywood Boulevard. But they also filmed a scene right in here as well. Well, right around the lake. If you ever watch that movie. And countless other TV and movie productions all utilize this little section right here. Everyone out here picnicking. Here's a really great headstone. Howie Pyro. The ultimate weirdo and a true punk. That's a great headstone. Look at that. See you next Tuesday. Love the bat. That's great. All right, there's Mr. Rubens. So his star, he is designated as his character, Pee Wee Herman. I know his social media stuff, and he'd always do appearances as Pee Wee. But his headstone, his God-given name, Paul Rubens. Well, I'm not sure if he changed his name, but that was his real name. His parents would have gave him. Got the bow tie there. The boomerang bow tie. I love Pee Wee Herman. Pee Wee's Playhouse, Pee Wee's Big Adventure, just so sad. Got to see him a couple times at conventions. One of the first filming locations I ever did when I really kind of started getting into doing what I do here on this platform and YouTube and all that was go to the Back to Future spots and the Pee Wee's Big Adventure spots. My buddy Justin Scard and I also love both those movies. We did it together many years ago. Many years ago. 1985 was a great year, you know, in my mind, nostalgia-wise. Just watching that film so many times with my family. My sister and I would watch it all the time on VHS. And in Pee Wee's Playhouse. Just sad. And I also have not been here since Burt Reynolds received this. Now I was here when they had a temporary one, but since then, gosh, this is so wild how fast time goes. 2018, I was living in Hollywood. I walked up to his star, showed that when I heard the news, and now there he is, Mr. Burt Reynolds. I went out here paying their respects to Pee Wee over there. Time marches on. I had to stop off here. See Paul, aka Pee Wee. In a lot of ways, there's a lot of cemeteries that are like this. It's used as a public park. Well, technically it's private property, but they will let you on here. They have events. People come out here and enjoy the day, get some sun, relax by the water, pay their respects, have some picnics. Definitely a cool vibe. I lived a few blocks from here. I lived over near Hollywood Boulevard and Sunset. And I'd walk over here all the time. Easier than trying to find parking. However, you can, when you pull in, you can park along the streets in here too. So if you don't want to park on the outside, try to find street parking, which can be very difficult. Just go in, talk to the little checkpoint security, tell them who you're looking for, tell them what you're doing, and then just park and enjoy the day and see some famous names that you might know, love, and want to spend the day here. It's a great spot. Hollywood Forever is the name of it. Used to be called something else and they changed the name to Hollywood Forever years ago. Right behind Paramount Pictures, you think of Paramount, you think of famous directors, you think of this guy, Cecil B. DeMille. His wife and Cecil are right here. I've been standing here a couple of minutes and I've seen multiple groups of people and families walk over and take a look at Paul. He was definitely beloved by many. So there's Paramount right there. Kind of butts right up to the back end of it. The man of 1,000 voices right here. Right here along the road. There's Mel. Got the little hat there. And you kind of, as I'm heading out, you can definitely see how tight a squeeze it is through here. You also got that sign, that iconic sign at the exit. Right there.
Thank you, Lisa.
From what I've always heard, Paramount Studios is the only studio in Hollywood that you can see the sign from its property. and also Hollywood Forever. Because most of the other studios, most of the popular studios are on the other side of the hill, the valley side. Or at least at an angle where you don't see the sign. And even on a Sunday, still a little rush hour. Pretty much afternoon, it becomes a weekday as far as traffic is concerned. Sunday's early in the morning, traffic's pretty light, but once you hit around noon, it's 1:30 right now. See downtown LA in the distance, traffic's pretty much like this every day. On Sundays, the mornings aren't too bad though, but I miss the cusp of leaving prior to noon before traffic gets too bad. So probably an hour and 15 minutes down to Anaheim from here. 30 miles, hour and 15 minutes. That's pretty much par for the course. Out the side of the window, check it out. There goes the monorail. I'm over here on Harbor Boulevard. I've made the commute. I'm down in Anaheim now, waiting for the light to change to go to my hotel. Right here on Harbor. Also, when I was riding down from LA back to Orange County, sitting in traffic was pretty bad. But I was able to listen to the last Rays game of the year against the Red Sox. They lost, but I was able to listen to it. They finished the season at 80 and 82, just under 500. Wasn't their best year, but it was still a lot of fun rooting for them, going to the games. Looking forward to next year. No postseason for the Rays this year. My baseball has ended for 2024. I'll be pretty mellow on going to Rays games next year. Now, granted, in between international travels, if I'm home or if I have like a day or two layover before going international in a place in the Rays are playing, I'll pop in and go to a game. But really, I'm going to kind of lay low on going to a incredible amount of Rays games for the next few years. They are breaking ground for the new stadium in St. Pete. Tropicana, Tropicana Field is going to be going away at the end of 2027. And 2028, they're going to have a whole new stadium. So for the next 3 years, we're going to really focus on international. And then after that, after 3 years of international, still going to go to a few games, but not going to go as heavy. Really going to kind of sink my teeth back into going to a lot of the games. Not going to really be traveling as much after a few years. So that kind of gives me the opportunity to, while they're building the new stadium, to really kind of spread my wings and do a lot of international travel starting in January. And of course, I say that now, but I'll probably still go down the Rays rabbit hole pretty hard, just not going to all the games because I have knocked off all 30 current stadiums. Obviously, once they play in Sacramento, where the A's are going to be playing, I'll knock that stadium off. That'll be my 31st stadium, MLB stadium, seeing the Rays, even though it's kind of a weird scenario. And then when the new field is built in St. Pete, that'll be another one. And then when the A's move to Vegas in a few years, that'll be another one that I go see the Rays at. So I have a little lull in Rays live games, unless I'm home in between travels, popping over to Tropicana Field, which I don't know how much I'm going to be doing, but I'll probably still be listening to most of the games and checking in on the scores next year with Andy Freed, Neil Solondz on the radio side, and Dwayne Statz and Brian Anderson on the TV side. Love watching, listening to those guys on the television side of things and the radio side of things if I can't be at the games. But I'm always checking in. You know, 162 games following a team, either at the games, following them close enough to either listen on the radio broadcast, the television broadcast, or at least checking in if I can't do that on the score. It really takes a lot out of you. When the season's over, you're like, oh man, what do I do until spring? And while I'm waiting to get the keys to my room, go over here to a staple of Anaheim that I love, Joe's Italian Ice. They got the Halloween decor out. This place gets really busy at night after the parks close. Right now, not too bad. Any other place would have a line like this, you would think, wow, this is insanely busy, but this is really, really mellow to be in line at this point. After nightfall, this place turns into like, 300 people deep trying to get their Joe Latte and other assorted things. They're all themed out. This bush is being attacked by cobwebs. To use a Jim Varney Ernest line. Yeah, the line at night will go all the way down this sidewalk. All the way. It looks like it is now confirmed what Jack Skellington likes to have in the form of a nice, delicious treat. He's double-fisted the Joes right there. Yeah. Endorsed by Mr. Skeleton himself, Pumpkin King. Oh, it's not a witch. It's well, it is a witch, but it's not a basket. It's the bottom of the hot air balloon. Either that or it's a planter. I think it's the bottom of a hot air balloon. There's some witch hats right here. Kind of wish I would find a place like this close to Celebration, Florida, at least something similar. Also, I haven't found a really good pho place. I always go to Buena Park, Pho 21. I know it's pronounced pho, but I say pho. I haven't really found a good place to be my local spot in Florida, or an Italian ice place or a frozen ice place. I'm sure at some point I will. I just never spend enough time at home to figure out all the eateries in my local spots, but I love Joe's Italian Ice. One of my favorite spots here in Anaheim. I get the Joe Latte, which has I think it's either ice cream or sherbet or some kind of a creamy thing in there. I just went with the straight up new flavor, Swedish fish. Swedish. My bum is on the Swedish. Little Tom Green reference. Swedish. Except I don't think he was talking about Swedish fish. I think he was... Oh, classic car alert. There's the convention center. No D23 Expo next year. They usually have it every 2 years. I mean, they haven't announced it, but I would imagine it'd be in 2026, which frees up me having to come back here to go to the convention center next year. Even though Disneyland's 70th anniversary is next year, so I might pop in for that. But probably will not be at another convention here at the Anaheim Convention Center for 2 more years. It's pretty wild to think about. Again, with the baseball stuff being done, no D23 next year, cutting back dramatically on SoCal Haunt stuff next year. Really clears up a lot of time to hit some overseas stuff. Really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to changing things up. Also, this is really dang good. Really good. I don't know why it took me till now to just discover that this is at least what they're going for. So I've always noticed this fountain, and I've always noticed a blue little painting here along the walkway of the convention center. And now I'm realizing they're trying to symbolize that is the river going from the fountain, unless I'm interpreting it wrong now that I see it. And it just kind of goes like where the river flows up towards the front of the convention center. Never noticed that in all the years I've walked along this path. That could be the only thing I could think of leading up to the fountain. I bet it probably stopped right at the fountain. Just never paid attention until now. Yeah, see, this goes right into there, right into the fountain. Even though D23 was, what, 7 weeks ago? My birthday, 7 or 8 weeks ago? 7 weeks ago. In my mind, it's all fresh that it just happened because I really haven't returned home except for those couple days. I've been on the go for close to 3 months. It all kind of blurs together. The time just continues to move along quickly. The older I get, the faster it goes. Backside of Radiator Springs Racers over there. You know, in an interesting kind of roundabout way, coincidentally with the baseball season for the Rays ending today, just a couple hours ago, game 162 is come and gone. And this is kind of the end of my really hectic 3 months of bouncing around all over. That hit me in the feels a little bit, like no baseball. Travels are gonna subside for a solid month during October. Out of town haunts are over. D23 is over. The 50th birthday is come and gone. The 13.1 mile half marathon I did, which went by, right by here, that direction and into the parks, has happened. I can regroup in October and finish bouncing around different places throughout the rest of the year. But yeah, it's like both of those kind of facts just hit me today, and it's like, wow, it's kind of like a weight off my shoulders in a way, but also kind of a slight sadness in a way. And a lot of things that when you have really planned out and when you accomplish them and finish them, or when the things that you're doing are done, you're kind of like, whoa, that happened. And then you're not planning that anymore because what you planned is done. So then you get to plan new things. Keep carrying forward, pushing forward. I like doing things, like planning things and doing things. And I'll be planning a lot in October when I'm home. It's gonna be weird being home for over 4 weeks in a row. The sounds of Anaheim. You always hear cars making that noise and motorcycles in Anaheim. I'm just gonna end it right here. Going to check in the hotel. Be here for another day, then I fly home. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tagging along. Really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. That's gonna do it. The vlog is over.